Coming to you from beautiful Wilkes County in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in North Carolina, we invite you to the musical world of the Kruger brothers. Sit back, relax, and welcome to the show with your hosts, the Kruger brothers. And
hello,
we're
everybody. Here we are.
Wednesday evening.
Start your engines.
Yeah, Wednesday evening. This week went by so fast.
It's unbelievable.
It was the fastest week of the year, I think.
So far.
Won
It was
a record.
Yes, it won a record.
Yeah.
We flew over to Texas,
Quickly.
south, yes, and we played with the string quartet of the Dallas Symphony.
That
And
was
it
a
was a lot of
fantastic
fun.
show,
They
yeah.
played great as expected. But there was this, this one section, you know, when I play...
Right, yeah.
And I played that, and I was supposed to play it with him as a duo.
Yes.
And I already thought it's your guitar solo. So I just
you
turned
were the
over to Uwe, and he is alone
Playing
playing this.
the cigar, yes, and you're just you were just rolling along.
So I was looking at him, okay, that's interesting.
We didn't
and
do-
there was like full exposure, you know.
But it's really good because we could play a Texas song. Remember when we did? Shame, shame on you. Shame, shame on you. Took my heart as a token. When returned, it was broken. Hide your face. Shame on you. Shame, shame on you. Took my car and my money, wrecked it all, and that ain't funny. Hide your face, silly girl. Shame, shame on you. Shame, shame on you. Ran around with other guys, and then you lied when I got wise. Hide your face. Play that little game, you'll find out who is to blame. Silly girl, shame on you. Shame, shame on you. Shame, shame on you. Can you hold your head up high, look your friends into the eye? No, you can't. Shame on you. That was a lot of fun playing.
Yes, and in a different key.
Completely
Different key,
We used to play it.
Shame, shame on you.
Or shame,
Shame.
Something we have playing shame, shame on you. And even here, shame, shame on you. It's actually not a good key. Shame, shame on. That's good. Actually, D is better.
J minor is my favorite though.
J minor.
J minor.
Q sharp.
No, we had a great time. And it's,
P sharp. P sharp.
I remember when we came in the studio, we were, first studio lights didn't work, then a few cables were not plugged in. Jody came late. No,
And a new
Want to say how important?
and a new bass player showed up.
Yes, well,
and then he broke, and then he
And then
dis-
I broke my bass started falling apart. We had to repair it. It was not a
Yes, so
Yeah.
so we were almost not ready. We had just had enough time to get a cup of coffee.
We. Let's start playing some music. What do you think?
What do you want? We want to talk about that picture that we posted just after this next message.
Stay tuned. More coming.
I think.
But first, a musical interlude.
Let's just play a little bit of music. Why don't we do that little set that we have? You want to do Stagolee? Okay.
Or the set? We can do the set.
Yeah, let's do the set.
So serious.
Yeah. Well, no, let's do Stagolee.
What?
Yeah.
What now? Some of you have asked, why don't we put the titles in anymore like we used to?
Well,
and that's because we used to really make a set list and really stick to it. And at one point, we didn't. And so Melissa used to, prepare all these, little inserts that she could put in. And we promise we will never do this again.
No, we might.
No. Actually, this is actually part of that picture thing, Stagolee. Because we got that Pete Seeger songbook that you actually looked at right before we started the show.
Yeah.
What did you look in there?
I realized I don't know any of the songs anymore that are in there. And we used to play them all,
Okay, let's don't talk about that. Let's do Stagolee. That's in that songbook. We were like 10 years old. Yeah. But afterwards, we're going to make some noise.
See how we can make this.
Yes. Double time. I think double time.
Yeah, double time.
Double time.
Oh, Stagolee was a bad man, everybody knows. He spent $500 to buy him a suit of clothes. He was a bad man, that mean old Stagolee. Stagolee shot Bill the Lion, now what do you think about that? He shot him down in cold blood, stole his Stetson hat. He was a bad man, that mean old Stagolee. Stagolee, now please don't take my life. I got 2 little babies and a darling loving wife. Don't be a bad man, oh Mr. Stagolee. Now what do I care about your 2 little babies and your darling loving wife? You done stole my Stetson hat and I'm about to take your life. I'm a bad man, they call me Stagolee. What you been doing here? You killed Billy the Lion, gonna die in an electric chair. You are a bad man, you rascal Stagolee. At 12 o'clock they killed him, head way up high. The last thing that poor boy said was, my 6-shooter never lied. He was a bad man, that mean old Stagolee, he was a bad man. They called him Stagolee.
You know, I have to tell you something. When I was a kid, all I knew was Batman magazines. And Uwe.
He was a Batman.
He was a Batman. It was really?
What?
I didn't speak English.
He was a Batman.
Batman?
Any friend of Batman?
You know, it's
Any friend of Batman?
it's like this nun, you know.
Yes.
She's hitchhiking. Right?
In her full habit.
In her full hair.
the
And
full-
this guy, you know, he says, hey, where you gotta go? And she says, yeah, down the road, you know, to the next village. And so you can go with me, come in here, you know. He's a real cool guy, you know. He's got his
Old Camaro.
Convertible.
He's got his convertible Camaro all pimped up, you know. So the nun gets in, and they ride down the road. And then at one point, you know, she goes out and she says, "Oh, thank you, my son," you know. And he looks at her and says, "No problem. Batman's friends are my friends."
Yeah.
But when we were but that picture. Let's talk about that picture. When we were in 4th grade, I played tenor
You
band.
were in 4th grade. I was 6th grade on that picture.
Yeah, 4th, 5th.
Yeah. No.
fifth
That
grade.
was in Zurich, right?
That was in Zurich. Yes, it was in Zurich. So anyway, we had a band. There was a comic thing that was called Lucky Luke.
Lucky
Luke.
Lucky Luke, Lucky Luck. I don't know.
Lucky Luke.
Lucky
Loo's. No, Looky Loo is something different.
Anyway, I don't know what is that. What is that, Lucky Luke?
Hooky Lao.
No, not Hooky Lau. A Looky Loo.
Oh, we go in.
Looky Loo is
to the
just
hooky
kind of-
lao, to the hooky
It's a completely different figure.
Anyway, so we had a band, and we called. There was in that comic. There was a character. He was the Undertaker. He would always, you know, at a shooting, he would take measure of everybody.
The measuring tape
measuring
and-
tape
yeah,
of
yeah.
everybody already, you know, before they had a duel or something. So we thought it was a funny character. It was the Undertaker. So
We called ourselves the Undertaker
Skiffle
Skiffle Company. Yeah.
Yeah, we had two friends. One played washboard, and the other played washed up bass. You know, washboard, and it sounded like Jody and Joel. Pretty much.
Some things haven't changed in all these years.
And I played a tenor banjo, which is this thing. Now, this tenor banjo is a very special tenor banjo because it goes plonk. This banjo is from
Unlike any other tenor banjo.
Now this is a gift, right?
This is a gift by Charlie Webb. Charlie Webb is a great man, plays banjo, guitar. He comes to our academy. He's a tree specialist. He's just a wonderful man.
He is a wonderful man. Yes, he is.
Everybody who knows Charlie just
Yeah.
loves Charlie. So Charlie bought this banjo once, and he wanted to build a 5-string neck for it. And then he built himself, you know, other great banjos, really. And he said, well, I don't have any use for this banjo. Could you use it? I said, I don't have a tenor banjo. I used to play a little tenor when I was a kid. And so he said, I want you to have this. And this banjo here is an Paramount banjo from 1923 or 24. I'm not sure. So this is almost 100 years old. Look at this thing. Mm-hmm. And he gave this to me. All I had to do is I had to order a new head and a new set of strings.
Really?
Because the
strings were not good
it
anymore.
was the
After
original
100 years,
strings.
they kind of...
It was the original strings. So this banjo is tuned different than the usually banjo I play. It's in fifths and it has different chords and everything. And let's do one.
That's one from back then. Chinatown? You
Yes,
want
I used to play that. Maybe better, but I don't know. You're going to help me? It's Chinatown, so it has to be a little Chinese, right?
by Chinatown. Is this really politically correct?
I don't know if it's politically correct,
But it's
Not
musical,
anymore, but you know.
musical fun, that's for sure.
It really is. So you can hear this is very loud.
Yes.
We used to
What?
we used to walk around, you know, our part of town where we lived, and walk down the streets and play, just as on that picture. And actually in that house we're standing beside, there was a school friend living of Uwe Lilian, and they had an attic, and that's where we would practice most of the time.
And then in the lunch breaks, or when we were on vacation, and when we had a school break, we would go up on the hill. There was a restaurant where had a nice terrace where you can see all of Zurich, and they used to take the Japanese and the Chinese tourists up there. Back then it was Japanese mostly, and when the tour bus would come in, we would start playing.
And they sometimes would give us
And
money.
they would give us money, all sorts of strange kinds of money, you know, but because they thought that we played Swiss folk music.
Oh,
yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And I don't have a tenor. I never had a tenor since
That time, huh?
No, actually since 1970, 1980. That's when I had my last tenor. So it's a little weird to play.
Yeah.
But we were out at the Banjo Museum 2 weeks ago, and there were all these tenor banjo players. And I looked at it and said, whoa. I used to do a little bit of that. I mean, of course, these guys, you know, the good guys, I mean, they can really play, not like me. But as children, you know, this was a lot of fun. And we sang songs that we don't even know anymore, and always thought we maybe knew. But
Well, this is one that Joel sings.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Let's try this. This was an F2.
F2.
Yeah, F.
Not F, but
F1.
F2.
F2.
Not F1, F2.
it's like B12. That's F2.
F2. The sun keeps shining through. And you're crying. You bring on the rain, so stop that crying. Be happy again when you're smiling. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. The whole world smiles with you.
That's cool. Hey, can you once play how a washtub plays?
Ice cream, you scream, everybody wants ice cream. Rock, rock my baby, rock. Ice cream, you scream, everybody wants ice cream. Rock, rock my baby, rock. RC Cola, Pepsi Cola. Not everybody wants a Coca-Cola. Ice cream, you scream, everybody wants ice cream. Rock, rock my baby, rock. Ice cream, you scream, everybody wants ice cream. Rock, rock my baby, rock. Ice cream, you scream, everybody wants ice cream. Rock, rock my baby, rock. RC Cola, Pepsi Cola, everybody wants a Coca-Cola. Ice cream, you scream, everybody wants ice cream. Rock, rock my baby, rock. Rock my baby, rock. Yeah, that wasn't planned.
That wasn't planned. That was washtub, huh?
Yeah. Thanks, Joel.
Well, tell the story about the washtub, though. It's a great story.
Back then in the 70s, there was a band from England that was really famous in Europe. They were called Chris Barber's Jazzmen.
Oh yeah.
The Chris Barber's band came over to Germany and played in Switzerland every year, and they played all these songs, all these old Dixieland songs.
Well, ice cream. You just there was Pink Floyd. His name is Lee Floyd. Told you about him last week.
Yeah.
What a great guy! An unbelievable banjo player. He plays plectrum is out of this world good. Anyway, so he does, he's played in Germany, and so Uwe started singing ice cream in the jam, and he says, people in Germany, they love ice cream. I don't know why, but it was on a recording of George Lewis, and that album was actually available in Europe, and that's the banjo solo. So that solo was the first banjo solo I've ever learned in my life when I was 10 years old. Yeah.
You could actually look at the record that we had back then, and the ice cream part with the banjo solo was actually wore out. Really, you can see it physically on the grooves.
It's embarrassing. Anyway,
it was great.
I actually remember the first song I ever learned on the bass.
Mm-hmm.
It was Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog.
Oh, how did that go?
Joy to the World.
Ooh.
Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. I never understood a single word he said, but I always drank his wine. He always had some mighty fine wine, singing joy to the world. All the boys and girls love joy to the fishes in the deep blue sea. Joy to you and me. And so on.
When was that, Joel?
That was probably 1970, 71, right around then.
Yeah. That's when we played German folk songs then at that time.
Okay.
Still, sang German folk songs. And then we did this, which is But it gave us so much joy, you know, as kids. We would, you know, in school, at 10 o'clock there's a break, you know, all the kids go and they walk to school, of course, there's no school buses. And then at 10 o'clock you got a break and you have an apple with you or something, you go outside, and, you know, and we took our instruments with us and we would sit out on a little
Ledge kind of thing, right?
I don't know, you know, it's a little you know, how do you call them, kind of mower?
Yeah,
know,
a little wall, little.
You know, so we would sit on there, and all the children would gather around, and we would sing songs with the children. And you know, things like that probably don't happen much anymore.
Not much anymore.
But it used to be. You know, everybody was eager to sing. They wanted to sing, and we had the
it's a real
instruments. And we
communal
played,
thing.
so we would always have the instruments with us. You know.
Yeah, but nowadays I see kids sometimes, you know, they perform these new songs that they grow up with, and they have these dance routines.
Well, yeah, they do.
You remember
The
Anya does
TikTok
this?
thing
Sure,
and
sure,
stuff.
sure.
Yeah,
They do a lot of
it's
these
a
TikTok
different
things.
kinda-
So I think that desire is
different kind of
still there,
community.
and the abilities.
Don't
you
you
know.
have some TikTok dance things?
I do not know. Not yet, anyway.
Jens, it is such a beautiful Carolina fall that we have here right now, and I think we had a couple of songs picked out to sort of like that fit the atmosphere right now.
it's
The
beautiful.
first one was
The
Piney
day was
Creek.
absolutely
You remember?
beautiful.
It was like
When we first came to America,
1997.
yes, and Robert Shepard, he had a big old blue van.
Baby blue van. Yeah.
And it smelled like old
Yep.
gasoline and all that
Leaded.
that you know, plastic covers, you know, they all cracked and all that yellow foam sort of
vinyl,
sticking out, and we
It was an old
drive up,
Chevy van, yeah.
driving up to the mountains and
Carolina Blue.
in this weather, and it was just beautiful.
So you wrote a little tune called Piney Creek when we went up there.
Yes.
I just remember sitting down in Robert's basement, playing it all night long.
Yeah. And behind us all these jars with
All kinds
pickled-
of squeezed,
pickled
pickled
pickled,
vegetables and
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
and some other squeezings.
Yeah, other pickled things.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a long time.
That's such a beautiful little song.
That's actually on profile.
Yeah.
It's actually on profile.
You played such a great dobro on this.
Yeah.
The solo that you played on there was just absolutely stunning. So whenever I play this now,
Oh, come on now, that's not true.
oh, absolutely, Jens.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not
Of course, we had a few requests for this. We have done it a dozen times already in our shows, but it really fits the atmosphere. I sat on the,
If not now, then never.
Yeah.
all the places I have been to, all the things that I had seen since I left my home to wander when I was just 15. Oh, the traveling was easy, still sometimes the road got rough, and by the time that I turned 35, I thought I'd seen enough. But for me to settle down a while was not what God had planned. So one more time I left my home with my suitcase in my hand. And the journey took me far and wide, across the deep blue sea. And now I know since I've been there where I was meant to be. And I've seen sunsets on the ocean, I've seen the desert bloom, drove the endless highways beneath the prairie moon. Yet the picture in my mind I see, I think about it all, is the color of the leaves, Carolina. In the fall. Doctor taught to me, and the things that he would sing about I never dreamed I'd see. In the hills of Carolina, folks, I've opened up the door. For the first time in my life, I'm not a stranger anymore. And I've seen sunsets on the ocean, and I've seen the desert bloom, drove the endless highways beneath the prairie moon. Yet the picture in my mind I see, I think about it all, is the color of the leaves, Carolina, in the fall. Think about it all, is the color of the leaves, Carolina, in the fall. I have to do something about this. This is really low for me.
I know. I just thought while you were singing, maybe we should probably
play in G.
play in
or
G.
something.
Yeah, at one point. Well, it's a beautiful song. We're going to be upcoming show. Actually, we're going to be in Maggie Valley. It's the Smoky Mountain Bluegrass Festival, and Balsam Range is going to be there.
Oh, nice.
They're going to be right after us. Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
and
It's an early show.
There's one more. There's one more band. There's three bands. What was the third band? Do you remember? I'm sorry. That's very embarrassing. I should know. But I'm looking forward. You know, Mark Pruitt is the banjo player of Balsam Range.
Mark's, yeah.
Mark Pruitt, yes. Yeah. And he is one of the finest gentlemen and banjo players in the world.
Didn't he break his wrist or something?
Well, he hurt his hand falling off a stage, didn't he? Just about 2 months ago. I hope he's doing well. Now Mark is just phenomenal. I met him the first time in Bean Blossom in 1982. He was playing for James Monroe, and his banjo sounded so good. And I asked him, where did you get these parts? And at that time, there was first quality banjos up there, and I ordered some parts from that. But it was just great to see him again, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. And of course, I'm looking forward to see all of you. Our friends, see you there in Maggie Valley. It's a beautiful place.
It is.
Jody's going to be with us, even though it's a bluegrass festival.
They allow drums?
I don't know if they allow drums. Maybe they'll just allow you to play a tambourine or something. No, I don't think so. There was an organization called Spigma, and they were very strict about,
Yes, no electric basses.
no electric, nothing plugged in, and no drums.
And no baritone singing either.
No baritone.
Just tenor.
Just high falsetto tenor. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm really looking forward to it.
Spigma's still going strong, and a lot of our friends are connected with Spigma.
Yes.
And they have a big meeting in Nashville always in January, I think, is their thing. That's for the Society for the Preservation of Bluegrass Music, traditional bluegrass music.
And we were very, very sad this last week, to learn about the passing of our dear friend Phil Ledbetter.
Yeah.
Phil Ledbetter was just a really friend to everybody that he knew. He played with J.D. Crowe first time we met him. He was J.D. Crowe's, dobro player along with Kurt, and
Kurt Chapman. Yeah.
Yes, and we just absolutely love this man, and still do. We'll always do. And
we took him over to Switzerland for that show that we
2002.
did.
Yeah, 2002 with Michael
Expo
Cleveland
02,
and Daryl Webb, and we flew them all in. And
Michael
we
Cleveland,
had the best week of our life. And Phil Ledbetter, he would come back later, and he would say, "You were in Europe, and you were with the Kruger boys over there." He said, "Yes, I've never eaten that much cheese in my life." But Phil was just. He was just a wonderful man. He will be greatly missed. That's just it's just something.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think on that note, I know we're usually very upbeat and happy and which we always will be, but there's sometimes we lost a lot of people. All of us lost a lot of friends, and we have a little set of songs. That we call, our how do you say?
Well,
we call it the Undertaker set, in a weird way. Not a weird way. How would you say that?
It's a really solemn set of
it's
music.
a solemn, yeah.
The first one we wrote ourselves, the Round and Round.
Yep.
How we all go round and round all the time, and how life is a circle, the cycle of life, yes. And then the second song that I'm going to sing is going to be When I'm Dead, My Dearest, is a poem that we put to music way back then, and I didn't know that there was other versions of this, that Joan Baez had a version of this, but it's one of those poems that a lot of people in English-speaking countries learn in school, and when
it's about hope.
And it's by Georgina Rossetti, and Georgina wrote this tune. When I'm dead, my dearest, sing no sad songs for me. Because there's no reason to be sad. Because I'll be resting in peace. And so I want to send this song especially to Warren up in Goderich, because they love it up there. It's really...
So, but first, Round and Round.
Yes. Why do the lights of the city shine brighter each step he's taken tonight? Reflections of laughter and colors on wet cobblestone. Someone is singing a song with words that won't rhyme, leading him into a world he's been longing to find. And round and round and round, and round and round and round, and stealing away from the nursing home right after dark. He didn't plan it, it just seemed to happen that way. Now music is playing, his friends all walking him in. His voices whispering, come let me hold you again. And round and round and round, and round and round and round, and round and round and round. Daughter's a teacher in southern Missouri. She tries to come home once a year. The cart that she wrote him for Christmas still taped to the wall. Sits by his bedside till dawn, just holding his hand. Turns up the nightlight as she steps out into the hall. And round and round and round, 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 and round and round and round. Here you go. Sing no sad songs for me. Plant no roses at my head, no shady cypress tree. Be the green grass above me, with showers and dewdrops wet. And if you will, sweetheart, remember, and if you will, sweetheart, forget. Shadows, I shall not feel the rain, I shall not hear the nightingale sing on as if in pain, and dream through the twilight that does not rise nor set. Happily I remember, and happily I'll forget.
We haven't played that in a while.
Yeah, we have time for one or two more.
Time for one more?
Mm-hmm. We were talking about skiffle music. I'm going to spring this on you guys. I know this, we've never done this, but you know, skiffle music was like an English way of playing jug band music back in the 50s.
Lonnie Donegan.
Lonnie Donegan was like one of those guys who started this all out. You know, they had a lot of American soldiers over there during World War II, and they brought a lot of records over and sang a lot of songs out there. And the folk songs, the American folk music, was catching on in England very heavily in the beginning, end of the 40s, beginning of the 50s, and so they made these bands with guitar, banjo, and whatever they had, you know, washed up basses and washed boards were with drum sets usually, and so they were singing all these different songs, and one of the hits that they had that was this guy Lonnie Donegan, and he never knew why this happened to him. He did a Rock Island Line, which was a version of an old Ledbetter song, you know, the train song, that's the train thing. You remember that? And it had a long kind of intro, and then even Johnny Cash, a lot of people did this song back then.
I remember.
And it was a great song. But you know, the Beatles started that as a skiffle band.
Yeah.
You know, they started doing all this, and a lot of the rock bands like the Who and they started out as skiffle bands, and so did the Kruger brothers.
Well, yeah.
We didn't know about it back then, but we just loved the sound. So there's this. There's this train that goes down to Louisiana all the way down to New Orleans, right? And and there's a toll gate when it gets across the border. And you can bring it on. Certain things you have to pay tax for it, and other things you can just get through. So this train pulls up to the toll gate, and the guy at the toll gate asks, "Hey, engineer, what you got on that train?" And he yells back and says, "Oh, I got pigs, I got cows, I got horses, I got whole livestock." So the guy just lets him go through the toll gate, and the train picks up a little bit of speed. And the engineer turns around and said, "Oh, I fooled you, oh, I fooled you. I got old pig iron, I got old pig iron, I got old pig iron." Oh, the Rocky Island Line, she's a mighty good road. Oh, the Rocky Island Line, she's a road to ride. Rocky Island Line, she's a mighty good road. And if you want to ride it, guess you ride it like you find your ticket at the station on the Rocky Island Line. A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Standing on the corner, but you don't see me. Oh, the Rocky Island Line, she's a mighty good road. Rocky Island Line, she's a road to ride. Rocky Island Line, she's a mighty good road. And if you want to ride it, get you ride it like you find your ticket at the station on the Rocky Island Line. Save us from sin. Glory to God, we're gonna need him again. On the Rocky Island Line, she's a mighty good road. Rocky Island Line, she's a road to ride. Rocky Island Line, she's a mighty good road. And if you wanna ride it, get you ride it like you fly. Get your ticket at the station on the Rocky Island Line. X, Y, Z. Standing on the corner, but you don't see me. I got the Rocky Island Line, she's a mighty good road. Rocky Island Line, she's a road to ride. Rocky Island Line, she's a mighty good road. And if you want to ride it, get you ride it like a flight. You ticket at the station on the Rocky Island Line. You get your ticket at the station on the Rocky Island Line.
Oh, well, what did you want to play that solo?
Yeah,
where's chorus?
Just for you.
Rock on the line, she's a mighty good road. Rock on the line, she's a road to ride. Rock on the line, she's a mighty good road. And if you want to ride it, get you ride it like a fly. Get your ticket at the station on the Rock on the line.
All right, no, I played the first time through. I wasn't sure.
Leadbelly. Mm-hmm. He had some
Audie
amazing.
Leadbelly. Yeah, he had some amazing stuff. Yeah.
And I saw this crazy good stuff. I mean, his voice. Did he play 12-string guitar?
Yeah. Played an old Stella 12-string, and I had one of his copies. It's up at Bill's now. He's got it out. Yeah. Yep. How did he let better? He wrote he did Irene Goodnight was probably one of his biggest tunes. Midnight Special was one of his. Yes, and he wasn't one of those folkways samples that McCarthy had.
Yeah, I remember as a child first heard his voice and what is this guy? I mean, he was a big guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a big guy, and he served some time, and then he sang with the Chain Gang, and the governor of Mississippi, I think, heard him sing, and he set him free. He just pardoned him and let him go on, and so he became a folk musician.
He lived in New York, right? Then.
Well, he traveled all over New York City. And he traveled all over. I think he even went to England and places like that. He really became a star, and it was a wonderful thing that happened to him. Jens, we're almost
we
done
got?
now with our show.
I know.
I hope that there's still some of you out there listening.
Yeah.
Because every week it's getting tougher and tougher to compete with what's out there, and I know the new seasons have started on TV as well. So we want to start on
Wednesday
time,
nights.
so you're not gonna not gonna miss your favorite programs or anything like that. But we hope that you keep watching the Kruger Brothers a little bit and maybe send us some support because we still really need it. It might look like we're playing out some good shows and everything, but we do. But we have as many shows called off now till Christmas than we had booked, and it's getting strange. People are scared to go out, and so
it's a different world.
Yes.
But anyway, we're going to be playing. We're having a few new shows in. We're going to play in Salisbury on the 6th of November. Also, we're going to be in Statesville on the 5th, and we're going to be on the 4th in Davidson, right? And then also, we're going to be playing when we come back from Switzerland. We're going to be playing with symphony
In Asheville.
In Asheville, in the Diane Wortham, and we actually I just sent them the scores, everything. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be playing a few numbers of Crossroads.
Oh, awesome. I look forward to that.
But anyway, so here's, we're just going to play some Pacific Morning. Why not? Just to take us out, some fun,
Folks, we see you next week, okay?
Yeah, don't forget we love you. Mm-hmm. Y'all take care. 1, 2, 3.
Bye, folks. Bye-bye.
Broadcasting from Double Time Recording Studio in Wilkes County, North Carolina, thank you for watching and all your continued support. Please make sure and comment on how much you enjoyed the show and share it with your friends. Join us next time for another edition of The Musical World of the Kruger Brothers.